This is the most genius yet so simple thing that you can 3D print, but to 3D print it, you need to know how to design it. And to design it, you need a software and someone to tell you what to do. And I don't see anybody else. So let me show you how to do it from nothing to a complete 3D print. So let's get into it so that you can have your own thread as soon as possible. Once you enter Fusion, you will probably be approached with a window just like this. And over here, you will select hybrid design. Right now, if you are just a beginner, you do not really need to care about what we're choosing, but just make sure that you open the hybrid design. So once you click on create new, you will be put into the blank Fusion workspace. What we first need to create is, let's say, the inner and outer wall of the thread itself. As you can see right over here, they both have the same basically diameter, only the outer one that sits on the outside has a bit more added to it. So let me show you exactly what I mean by that. You will go and over here on the top left, you'll click on create sketch. Once you click on create sketch, you can pick the plane on which we want to design the thread that we are going to be making, which we are going to be making on the XY, which is this bottom one. So just click on that one. Once you are over here, we need to create the circle, and circle, you can either go into the create menu and click on circle, or you can just hit C, which is a shortcut, which makes the whole process a lot faster. Let's say that we want the inner body to be 3 centimeters or 30 millimeters in diameter, and the outer body to have something added so we can dimension it. So you just always click the center for the circle, then you drag it out, and to dimension it you can click on D, or again go into the create section as well. So you'll go to create section, you can go into here sketch design, but I highly recommend using only the shortcuts. So you will hit D, click on the circle, and you can pick the diameter. Or if you want just to, let's say, dimension the distance between these two circles, you can have the two circles and click from one to the second one, and you will be sketching the dimension that is between them instead of just their diameter, which can be quite useful when you know the wall thickness that you want. So let's say that we want them spaced 5 millimeters apart. So once you have that, that's basically it for this sketch. So you can go and finish sketch or just hit enter, it doesn't really matter. Amazing. And you have the basic sketch done. Now to make it into 3D, instead of just having it a 2D, you need to somehow push it into space. To do this, you will use Extrude. Again, you can go into the Create menu and click on Extrude. But instead of that, I would highly recommend learning the shortcut E. You can just click it on your keyboard and it shows you right over here. You have a menu called Extrude, and it shows you all of the operations, but we don't really need to again care about that right now. We are just trying to make a thread, and we will select the body that we want to create first. The first one we are going to be creating is, let's say, the outer one. Outer one. It doesn't really matter. You can pick whichever you like, and then set a height to it. So let's say we want it 3 centimeters high. Doesn't really matter. Just remember the value that you're using, so that you can later on set it even for the, let's say, inner body. So once you hit 30 millimeters, which is the dimension that you want to make the thread to, you will click either on enter or here on OK. Once you do that, we need also the second body. To see the second body, as you can see, Fusion automatically hides the sketch once you use it for something. So you need to go over here into the left. I'm going to move myself over there so you can see it clearly. Over here on top of me, you have the browser where you can see all of your things that you are using, tools, bodies, sketches, everything, construction planes, but we're going to be using it just for the bodies and for the sketches. So you can open the whole browser, and then you're gonna, as you can see, we have the body one, which is the outer wall, and then we have in the sketches, we have the sketch one, which we need to see, but we are not seeing it right now. So we will reveal the sketch one. Now we see it. As you can see, we can already select it, and now we need to extrude the inner body. To do it, we actually need to hide the body one, because otherwise Fusion would automatically join these things together. So there are two ways to do it. I will show both of them. Either you can hide the body, which you do by tapping the eye, and then doing the exact same extrude. That's one way to not join the bodies together. And the second way is to have the body still there, hit on the sketch that you want to extrude actually, and then make it go to the top. But as you can see in the window, it automatically sets the operation to join. This would join the bodies together and you wouldn't get the thread because you would just get this full cylinder. So to change that, you need to go into operation and new body instead of join. Then once you hit OK, you would get the new body, right? But because I would like to have, let's say, the holder for the thread, so you can actually screw it in much more comfortably and be able to operate it with much better, you can actually just put a bit more over here, let's say 6 millimeters, so that you have space to put the handle there afterward. So you can click on OK, and now you have basically the two main bodies. Now to make the cap or the thing you're going to be rotating it with, you can just click on the sketch that's basically of the outer circle, because that's exactly what it needs to be to match. You can click on it, and then instead of starting it from the sketch that we started from, we can actually start it from the top of this face. And to do that, in this extrude menu, you will select instead of the start, instead of the profile plane, which is where you sketched it, you will select object. Once you do that, it allows you to select a face of an object where you will start extruding from. And now again, you need to be very careful over here, because once you reach, let's say, the bottom body, it would automatically switch to operation join and it would just join the whole cylinder together. So to not do that, you need to hide the body one. So once we hide the body one, as you can see, we have only the cap there and it won't join them together. It will join it only with the inner body, which is exactly what we want. So once you do that, you have the object, you extrude it exactly the size that you extruded as extra. You will have the cap the exact size that you set here. You can click on OK, so that both of the things are joined together. Perfect. Now we have nearly the whole two bodies together, but we don't have the thread. Now that's the most important part of this at all, right? So Fusion makes it, I think Fusion is one of the simplest softwares to do this at all, because they have a feature for it. You're just gonna go into the create menu and go down here, right under hole, you have thread, you're gonna click on thread. This doesn't have a shortcut. And you're gonna select the face. So once I hit the body, I can see clearly the face that I need the thread to be applied to. So once you hit it, it will automatically select the size. So you don't need to worry about the size. But you do need to worry about the menu that it popped out over here, because as you can see, it isn't checked in for modeled. And what that means is that it's just showing you how it would look, but it's not actually in the STL or the 3D model geometry at all. So you need to check this box, and once you check it, it will go actually into the model. And then, of course, it's really good to check also the box to remember the size, because once it remembers the size and you go to make the next thread, it will automatically set the exact same parameters. So if you change something, it will skip future problems. So once you have this menu set up just like over here, you can click on OK. And you have the first thread created, basically. Of course, it's not finished, but now we can hide this body for now, reveal the second, and do the exact same. So you're gonna go create, thread, and then just click the face that we want the thread to be applied to. As you can see, it remembers the size, also remembers that we ticked model, so it's all set up. So you just hit OK, and you have this beautiful thread right over here. And you can reveal the second body, but now I want to show you, because this would be finished, but it would, let's say, it would go together, but only once, because then you wouldn't be able to pull it properly apart, and you would need a lot of strength to let's say, screw it together, because mine is moving very nicely, as you can see, but it wouldn't if I just left it right over here. So to fix that, I'm going to show you a very useful tool that you will be using all the time in Fusion, and once you learn it, it's a superpower. You're going to go into Inspect, and you're going to click on Section Analysis, which basically allows you to see into a design. Now this is super useful, because watch what I can do. When I pick a plane for the section analysis, it will reveal to me, once I turn it around, what kind of space we have there. So you're going to click on OK, so that the section analysis stays there. And now we see that this would be very tight and rigid. So because we see into the design, it's very easy to see if we have enough space. And over here, we clearly don't. So you can just click on, sorry, I went too fast. You can just go to modify, and over here you will find offset face, right over here. So we will first offset the face. So you're gonna just select all of the four faces, just like over here. And now this can depend on your printer, and you can always go back over here and change it if you would like to. And once it prints, it's a bit too rigid, you can always change it depending on how it prints. But I would recommend going for minus 0.2 from the beginning, because it's let's say a cylinder. It won't take just from one side the 0.2, it's actually from both sides, so it's a space of 0.4. That's really good to keep in mind, because you aren't making space of 0.2. That wouldn't create enough clearance. It's making a clearance of 0.4 so that the part can actually breathe. Once you have that, you can click on OK, or you can select or click Ctrl on your keyboard, which will allow you to see the change that you made with that offset of face, which I like to use quite a lot because it shows you the comparison of the sizes that you are changing. So as you can see, we made it quite less thick, so it will go inside of each other much better. But one thing that is also good to add is fillets for these threads, because as you can see right now, we have these very sharp corners, which the 3D printer doesn't like too much, and it would deal with fillets a lot better. If you don't know what fillets are, quickly, it's just that you take a very sharp surface and you round it. You make it round and looking all nice. Again, if you want, you can go into the modify section and you can select the fillet, or most of the people have it as shortcut F. I have it on K, but that's just my own preferences. Now you will again select all four edges on the thread, on the inner one, but then I would highly recommend selecting even the outer one, both of them, because then let's say the moment that you are inserting the thread inside of the inner wall, it will give you a much better entry, so that you don't actually need to spend hours just locating how's the thread supposed to be positioned to even enter the body. So you will apply it to all of the edges that are there, which there is 8, so you can always keep a track of it by looking in the fillet menu. As you can see right now, I have 4 edges selected, so I know I have 4 more to go, which are on the outer wall. And once I select all of them, as you can see, 8 edges selected, perfect. And you're gonna set a value depending on the size of your thread, but over here I would probably go for 0.2. That's a bit too small, so let's say 0.3. Again, it's on both sides, so it's gonna create a very nice thread. Again, you can click on Control and it will show you the change that you made. Sometimes, because the computer is loading, so you cannot be that fast on it, but yeah, it can show you beautifully. So once you hit on OK, you basically now have the whole part ready and done. We should have saved it at the beginning, but you can save it just now, so that you can have the file somewhere on your computer. You can just name it whatever you want. I will name it thread. And then to export it, if you don't know, you're going to go into File in the top left corner, as I'm pointing out right now, and click on Export. But be very careful. Automatically it selects the format F3D. We do not want that, because that is a format only for Fusion. You always want to go with the either STL or step or object or 3MF, whatever you like, but STL is one of the simplest ones that I use, and it's a great one. Then you can just hit export. We are done inside of Fusion, so you can just go into your slicer, whatever you use. I'm gonna use Bamboo Studio for this to show you. Okay, now this is a really simple part. It doesn't need any special settings, but I just want to show it for the people who might not be familiar with slicing at all. So it's just for anybody who's just starting out. So to import something that you have designed yourself, hopefully you remember where you saved it. Always good to remember. You're gonna click on this cube right over here on the left, select the cube, and it will allow you to select anything that you want. Put it inside of here, and as you can see, the parts are together. And to fix this, or let's say separate them, not fix it, it's completely fine and fixed. You can just right click the body, go into split, and click on two objects. Once you have that, you can click off the model and just drag the piece out and the second one out. You can either automatically position it, Bumble Up Slicer will do it for you, or you can do it by yourself, but it's a lot easier to use this button right over here, which basically positions the parts so that they are printable in the most successful way, and it lays them basically on their biggest face, which gives them the most surface with your build plate so that it has the least amount of chance of failure. Hopefully that was understandable. I think this is one of the most useful designs you can learn and even start your designing journey in. I would really appreciate if you leave any feedback in the comments. If you didn't understand any step or I skipped a few, definitely mention it in the comments so that I can go back and actually learn from my own mistakes, because I'm still starting with this thing out. And if you would like to see more of designing or 3D printing or of my crazy things that I do, definitely drop a follow and I'll see you next time.